Hey everybody, today's lecture should be fairly straightforward. We only have to do two different activities. The first is to finish up describing the dimensions for the problems that we did in the thought experiment, and the second part is taking the test of relational reasoning. So to get started, let's go to the modules. To continue off of last week, I'm going to ask you to pull out your thought experiment that you completed, as well as the profiling problem solving sheet, which has the different dimensions. Again, this is week 6, but yeah, we can see the profiling of problem solving here, and we can see the different dimensions that we are going to profile different problems under. We can see linguistic, non-linguistic, well-structured, ill-structured, schooled, unschooled, etc., etc. We're not really going to focus on timed versus independent versus collaborative for this activity, so for the remainder, just focus on those first three. So I'm going to walk you through what we would like you to do. Again, focusing on the first three dimensions. Here we have the first problem, 1a, and looking at it, we can see that there are no numbers and that it seems to be generally linguistic. So I'm going to categorize that as linguistic as opposed to non-linguistic, right? That's going to be the category here. And then as I'm looking at it, it seems to be fairly well structured. I can see that there are groups of three different months, and it's asking me to complete the pattern here. Because the pattern is well specified, I'm going to categorize that as well structured. And because it deals with months, I'm kind of unsure what to do. Is it schooled or unschooled? So I'm going to look back into the PowerPoint and I'm going to look at the definition. And it seems that something schooled means something that you'd probably learn in an educational setting. Now, I think this one's up for debate. You could probably learn this in school or outside of school. And so here, I'm not going to say either way. Obviously, it's something that you have to learn from somebody, but it doesn't have to be schooled. So I would probably categorize this as being in the middle of this spectrum, schooled or unschooled. It could go either way. So I don't think it's necessary to or accurate to put it in one or the other places. So I'm going to put it right there. I could see arguments for either one, but again, it's about your determination here. So in your journal, if you could, for each question, record the first three categories in the profile, the first three dimension, linguistic versus non-linguistic, well-structured versus ill-structured, schooled versus unschooled, and from here, create a list for each question and how you would categorize it. Again, it's a spectrum, so you could make it completely linguistic, completely non-linguistic, or any of the other three that we care for. But the idea is to determine what you think best approximates it. If you want to be as granular and say it's 60% linguistic, 40% non-linguistic, if you wanted to break down the question even more, if we look at 1A, we could say it's not only about the knowledge of different months and their orders, but additionally, you have to be able to identify the patterns. If you want to say that that pattern, being able to do basic pattern recognition, is not educational, then you could add that information into your determination of the sentence. Of the problem. Every person's going to have a slightly different interpretation of the problem. And again, that's because we are analyzing the problem in different ways and we're bringing in different information. We're also attending, i.e. focusing on different parts of the problem at different levels. So this isn't supposed to be exhaustive, but it's supposed to provide us with a framework that allows us to better map and understand problems, because as we get into the test of relational reasoning, which we're going to get into next, we're going to be looking at the abstract structure of problems and how we can break those down. If you have any problems trying to classify certain questions, like maybe problem 7 is more difficult for you, or 8 or 9, please just do your best. Again, do it along those three dimensions. We're not saying pick which one, whether it's linguistic versus well-structured or not. These dimensions apply to all problems in some way. So make sure that for each problem, you have all three dimensions with the specific place on the spectrum that you think each problem should have. And so from here, don't worry about the answers yet. I will give you the answers next class, and we will open up the class with a discussion about these problems. about what they're trying to get at, and whether we think that they are more accurate or less accurate measures of these different dimensions of problem solving. Our next task will be doing the test of relational reasoning. So to do that, we can go to assignments, or we can go to week 8 and click the test of relational reasoning, TORR A, under assignments and activities. It's going to take us to this page. Please read the directions. There are 2 links. They will take you to the exact same place. It will take you to a Qualtrics survey for the test of relational reasoning. I can't give you too much information on it right now because I don't want to bias your results, but the test of relational reasoning is an abstract problem solving measure, and it will be testing different dimensions of your problem solving ability. They're not going to be the same as the ones I'm showing here and the ones that we're talking about. They are more abstract, but there is relationship between them that we are going to investigate later. But to do that, we have to first take the test of relational reasoning. When you click the link, it should take you to a page like this. You're going to click continue. I'm just going to walk you through this just so there's no confusion. It's going to ask you to fill in some information, and once that is done, it's going to ask you to take the measure. It's going to be composed of 4 parts. Please take your time to do all of them. Think your best, do your best, think critically. This is going to be an important measure, and some of this information may be used in future studies on reasoning processes. So your accurate measure information is incredibly important and valuable. So please take your time to do this well. So just to show you what finishing the measure looks like, and also making sure that we're logging the important information that we need from the measure, I'm just going to click through the entire questionnaire. Do not do what I'm doing. Take this seriously. Take the time that you need to, and finish this to the best of your ability. So I just finished, and this is my final page. You can see that my total TORR score is 8, and that I have 4 different TORR scores here: analogy, anomaly, antinomy, antitheses. These are the 4 different abstract reasoning scales. My total score is 8. The highest number that you can get for each individual score is 8. And yeah, we can talk more about this next class. The core function here is just to make sure that you record this information. We need the relational reasoning quotient, your RRQ score, as well as your total score. So please record this information in your learning journal. Keep it. We want to make sure that you have this information. It might be important for a learning demonstration or for learning portfolio questions. We will discuss this information later. But once you've done this, you are done. You can hit continue, and I will see you next Thursday. See you all next class.